Alright guys, today we're back with another rig for you. Today we're going to do a Pompano rig, otherwise known as a surf rig or a dropper rig. And I would say it's probably the most universal rig used along the Gulf Coast to surf fish with. And it's very simple to tie yourself. So you can go buy a few things from the store, save you a little money, and make a ton of these little rigs. Let's show you how to do it. Alright, so this is everything you're going to need for the Pompano rig. Just some 20-pound line. I'm using the high-vis green so you guys can see it. You're going to need some sort of float. They sell little cigar floats, the little pill floats. These are specifically made for Pompano. Some sort of glass or plastic bead, a barrel clip, and a barrel swivel, and a small circle hook. I believe this is a number 1 size or a number 2 size circle hook. And that's pretty much it. If you want to do multiple drops, you have to have basically 2 hooks, 2 beads, and 2 of the floats. Alright, so to start, we're going to roll with some 20-pound line. I'm using this high-vis green just so you guys can see it really well. But typically, 20, 30-pound, anywhere from 15 to 30, let's say. Fluorocarbon is the best way to go. We're going to use the high-vis so you can see it. And what we need to do first is just pull out some of that line. I'm only going to go with about 3 feet, and we're going to snip that. Then we're going to tie on our clip. So we're just going to tie the clip on with a standard fisherman's knot through the eye, pull a little bit of the tag there, and just make 5 or 6 little loops like so. Put the tag through the hole, in through one hole and into the other. And then just cinch the knot down. And we'll move on from there. So once we've got the clip tied on, we want to move about 10 or 12 inches up. And this really depends on what style of fishing you're doing. If you're going for something like whiting, you might want to go a little bit closer. To keep it closer to the bottom, you're going for Pompano, you can move it up a hair. I'm just going to go about 10 or 12 inches, and I'm going to create a loop. And that loop just needs to be about roughly the size of a baseball or so. And then all you have to do is just bring this line through the loop about 4 or 5 times. So what we're going to do is try to keep control of this thing. But that's going to be 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to go 5 times. Like so, until you have a loop like this. So you have your clip on one side, your loop in the middle of the line, and then the rest of your tag. So the next step is how you make the drop. And what we're going to do is essentially, you'll see on the bottom of your loop, you've created these twists. And you want to just eyeball it, find the middle of these twists, and you just want to split it or separate it. So once you've split that bottom, and you see what I'm talking about here, you're basically making another little hole here at the bottom, and then you're going to take the top of that loop and you're going to push it through like that. Once you have that pulled through, I'll show you the best way to tighten it down, and it's a little unorthodox, but it works. So you're going to take that and just use your teeth, and it works every time. So essentially what you've done is you put 2 knots on either side of the loop. So now you're able to take that loop, pinch it down, as tight as you can get it, and then you can slide your bead and your float right on. So once you got it pinched, slide your bead on first, like so. Then it stops here at the knots. Then you'll grab your float. And you can put it on either way, doesn't matter, point facing that way or that way. You're gonna do the same thing with that. Sometimes it's hard to get that line folded over tight enough to get in there, but I got it on the first try. So now you have those 2 on, and we'll just do the same thing. And we'll thread that hook on, and then in order to secure the hook, we'll take that loop and just pass it right over the hook, like so. Kind of push it backwards, and then tighten it down, bring your float and your bead down, and there is your drop. down to your clip. And then the last piece of the puzzle is to tie on your barrel swivel, so you can tie it to the main line of your fishing rod. I'm just gonna do a basic fisherman's knot for this one as well. Cinch that down, snip it, and you've got your basic Pompano rig tied up and ready to go. Put you about a 2 ounce or a 3 ounce weight here, depending on the surf conditions, how rough the waters are, how much current you have. And you can put multiple of these droppers. So if you just cut your line longer, usually I'll do about 5 to 6 feet of line, and I'll either put 2 or 3 of these drops. Tie your main line to your swivel here, cast it out in the surf, go catch you a pompano. You can use anything, dead shrimp, fish bites work really good, or fish gum, some people call it. You can put that on there. You can catch sand fleas on the beach, use that as bait. Pretty much anything, man. You can put cracked crab on these things. They'll handle, if you put 20 or 30 pound line, you can catch redfish and black drum on them off the beach. But this is your basic Pompano rig. Alright guys, that's a basic Pompano rig. Super simple, super effective. And that's going to be it for us today. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Go check out some of our other videos. We'll see you next time.